the sex club, you would see all different types of unique individuals. Some with a lot of money, some with a little money, some fat, some skinny, some short, some tall. Definitely a lot of characters would come into the sex club. One character that was coming in constantly, frequently, his name was Pervert. I didn't give him that name. That's what he wanted people to call him. Call me Pervert. Pervert was a taxi cab driver. Pervert was 5'7", short guy, fat guy, old, late 70s. Pervert liked for women to fuck him in the ass. He liked to fuck women. He liked for guys to fuck him in the ass, and he liked to fuck guys. Pervert was a pervert. He wasn't a pedophile, he wasn't sick, he didn't do nothing illegal, but he was a pervert. He was definitely a sex addict. He would come into the club frequently, all the time. When he would be at the club, nothing would happen. Usual, regular, nice guy. At this time, I was manager of the club. He comes to the counter on this one night and approaches the counter and says, "Dominic, you have to call an ambulance for me right away." "Are you okay, Pervert? What happened?" He says, "I'm okay. I injected way too much Trimex into my penis and I need you to call an ambulance for me." If you don't know, Trimex is a serious form of Viagra, so to speak. It's a needle you inject into your penis and immediately gets the blood flowing. A lot of porn stars use it. Pervert injected way too much. When you inject too much, there is a pill that you take, but if you inject too much Trimex, that pill don't work. So he explains to me the situation. I take a deep breath. I pick up the phone, I call the ambulance. The ambulance comes, scoops him up, and away he goes. 6 months later, he comes in. And he starts to explain what happened when he left in the ambulance. He went to the hospital. The told the doctor the situation. The doctor's antidote is to take another needle, stick it into the penis, and inject an antidote into his penis. Pervert goes on to explain it was excruciating, extremely painful. He said he was black and blue for months. From the middle of his thigh to below his belly button in a big circle around his penis was black and blue. He comes back into the club. He starts coming. A few days later, it must have not been a week. He comes to the counter again. In a more panic. Dominic, you have to call an ambulance for me." I laugh. I think it's a joke. I say, "That's funny. That's a funny one. That's good." No. I did way too much. I did more than last time. I messed up. You have to call an ambulance for me. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it, to be honest with you. I pick up the phone. I call the ambulance. They pick him up, scoop him up, and away he goes. 6 months later, he comes back. And he tells me the same story, how excruciating it was, how painful it was, how miserable the months were of him being black and blue you couldn't touch anywhere around him, he would say, because it was black and blue and it was excruciating to the touch. He did say, if it happened one more time, the doctor told him the immune shot that he would get would not work. His penis would tear. Pervert then goes to pay to get into the club. I tell Pervert, your money is no good here. You are more of a liability than you are an asset. He begs, he pleads, but I couldn't let him in. He was a liability. I have not seen Pervert since that day. I'm sure he's out there, I'm sure he's driving his taxi, and I'm sure he's continually doing what he does. Pleasure seeking and karma go hand in hand. I've been on the good side, I've been on the bad side. Years ago, I didn't have a system. I didn't have a daily routine. I was an idiot. I was a stupid fool years ago. I was a dope fiend. I was a junkie. I lost many years of my life being hooked on heroin, shooting it in my veins. I almost destroyed my family, lost friends, lost time, lost money. Went to the hospital, went to rehab, went to jail. It's not a joke coming off that shit. The first 7 days, you feel like you're going through hell. But that's the easy part. The physical withdrawals are the easy part. Months and months of your mind twitching. Just give me. Can't sit still, can't sleep, can't stop and think of anything. You have to be strong. You have to have a system that is impenetrable. Most people don't beat it. The sad reality is most people don't beat it. I beat it. I destroyed it. I then set a goal for myself where people laughed, where people said, you can't do that. It can't be done. When I first got my job working at the sex club, I was picking condoms up in the back. And I told a few people I was working with what I wanted to do, open up the same type of business. And they laughed at me. Well, I'm laughing at them because not only did I do that, I surpassed that. I paid my debt for what I did in the past. I paid for anybody and everybody who I hurt at that time. Show me a wise man, I will show you a man who has made many mistakes. Today, I get inner peace by lifting the next individual to reach their highest potential, to reach their dream, their star. Pain teaches. Adversity's greatest tool is change. Did Pervert ever learn before it was too late, before he ripped his penis, tore his penis? I hope he did. But I don't know. Live with gratitude. Live with karma. Karma debt is real. Become the person you admire. Remember, what goes around comes around. It always comes back around. Get up, believe, and achieve. You know, I know, let's